Everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carla, but you can call me Kay. And today I want to speak about the property rental market. Lately I've been looking for new accommodation. I thought that, I'd stay in my temporary accommodation for 1 month, and then the last week of my stay I will just start to search for accommodation. But it's proven far more hectic and crazy out there in the property market than I had anticipated. And I'm just going to take you through some of that and let you know what's been happening, especially for those of you who have not yet arrived and are to arrive on the continent. Gambia, I don't know how unique it is in terms of how things are done here, but I can only explain what's happening in Gambia. So basically, repats are coming here and they're spending far too much. And the thing is, they've come with little understanding of what the property market here is. They didn't really research it. I think it's more a case where they looked and they saw prices and they thought, oh, this is half of what I'm spending in the UK anyway. I've already made a saving. Or, they come with that kind of mindset of where they were and not really bearing in mind where they are. And I don't think they should have taken that approach. One, they're not, the resources they have that they rely on in the UK may not always be there. Income they have set up, residual income they have set up, you don't know what may happen in the near future, and that residual income might not always be there. So I think it's best to take a modest approach to the market. I think it's best to understand how locals live and what they do, and try not to spend crazy, because the locals really, they're here, they're living their lives, they're working hard, and then they see repats come here and act crazy. It does look like they're acting crazy, because what a local would spend for one thing, a repat is spending 10 times more for the same thing. And a local just doesn't understand why that would be the case, So I've seen things from two perspectives, but it's not, the repats part is ignorance, but the property market is taken advantage of. Those who are renting out accommodation, those who are selling, the agents, they're taking advantage of the the repats. So I went into this whole property rental market thing with an understanding of what the local market was like. I had an understanding before I came to Gambia. I'd spoken to people on the phone throughout the entire year doing my research, spoke to local Gambians on the ground, asked them, what are you paying for rent? What is the going rate? What can I get for this much, And so basically, when I started property hunting not too long ago, I'm now in my 3rd week of it. It's been so crazy. I mean, I almost gave up for a while. I'm like, let me just stay and pay these Airbnb rates, because I'm just at peace right now. Where I am is got incredibly high security, cameras, everything, backup generator, and a lot of property out there probably doesn't have a backup generator. So there are some creature comforts I'm enjoying now which I may not have when I do move out. But yeah, I just want to point out some of the things about the property market that I haven't seen repats speak about on YouTube, and I think you will find interesting. So basically, to get a place to rent in Gambia, is either you speak to locals and they know someone who has a place, or the majority of people deal with agents. Now, agents require two things. They require a movement fee. That's what they call it. And when they haven't moved, or when they've moved you in the wrong way, and they start requesting that fee, they change the name of the fee to a viewing fee. I've heard that one before. So the movement fee has also been called the viewing fee. Now, as well as that viewing fee or movement fee, an agent will require a deposit should you a commission should you desire to take that property. And let's say the range The range, let me see what they would charge. So a movement fee typically is probably $300, and that would equate to probably £5, which adds up. You know, if you're looking at 20 houses, that's going to add up. And then the one-off commission is probably 3,000, 4,000. I'm not quite sure. I think it varies, and that's still probably a repat charge. I don't know if the locals pay lower than that. You know, really it's up to people who decide to come to Gambia, because not all my viewers are coming to Gambia. Maybe some of you are going to Ghana and wherever. It's up to you when you arrive to assess the market and know and understand. But I'm just going to break down a few basic things for you, so you understand what some of the issues are and how things work. One of the main things you need to consider when trying to rent an apartment or even buy is the location. Location is essential. For me, if I stay in the city, I want to be close to everything. I want to be central to everything. And one of the central locations is near Caraba Avenue, Kololi, Kotu, is Fajara. I'm not sure if Fajara is so local, so central, but those are some of the places that are very Senegambia. Those are some of the places that are very central. Manjai could be considered central too, and a lot of those areas are within Serekunda. Whereas Turntable is still central. A lot of repats live in that vicinity, and a lot of repats live in Brewfoot, but Brewfoot is near to Coastal Road, and those areas personally I want to avoid because the traffic is horrendous. But Brewfoot obviously has all these beautiful houses, and a lot of repats have moved there, but the traffic is horrendous. I mean, I can't imagine sitting down in all that traffic every day, twice a day, just to move around. And it's far from everything. It's far from everything, you know? So, but Turntable is not a bad area either, or Bigelow. So there are quite a few options if you want to remain fairly central. There are lots of properties available in Coastal Road that are at a local rate, and brand new as well, but it's just that traffic and that distance from everything. It's just, that's my reason for being put off that area. Let me talk about some of the tricks you may encounter with agents. Now, some agents will have very poor property, and they are aware of this, and they know that you are not going to like the property they're going to show to you. It may be that the property looks great in the photos, but in reality the property is in the middle of nowhere. And when I say nowhere, I mean it's far, far into an estate that will be pitch black at night, and to walk 15 minutes in pitch darkness is, my idea is not, it's not a good situation. Not that I'd be in fear for being attacked or anything, but who wants to walk 15 minutes in pitch black? I don't know. It's not a situation that's attractive to me. But also you'd have poor road conditions in some of those areas. So not only are you walking in pitch black darkness with no street light, but you risk falling over because there's so many rocks and stones and sand and unevenness on the ground that you could hurt yourself. And then when the rainy season comes, you may be swimming home. So I personally look for something close to the main road. And that may be a different situation if I choose to go outside the city. Then those are some things I won't be able to avoid. Outside the city, you won't have much street lights or anything. It's going to be pitch black. Yeah, but those are some of the things to consider. So when agents tend to have bad property that they know you're not gonna like, or property that's located in a vicinity that they know you're not gonna like, some naughty agents will try to persuade you to go and view the property, and they'll try to persuade as many people as possible to go and view the property because they want to charge you a movement fee. So imagine if in one day they get 10 people to show around, to show properties to. That means they're charging 10 people $300. So that's $3,000 per day for them. And they're happy, very happy. So you want to avoid getting into a situation where you'll be taken advantage of in that way, and you keep spending all these movement fees and wasting money. Some of the ways I avoid situations like this is to get as much information from the agent as possible before traveling with them, before going with them to view the property. So my strategy really is, okay, I will first ask for photos of the property, and I will examine these photos very carefully. And one of the things I want to see in a photo is the kitchen, because some properties do not have kitchens, and I don't know what it is, if it's a tradition whereby they used to cook outside or something, where they'll have a space that they allocate for a kitchen, but you don't see a kitchen sink or evidence that there is a kitchen in there, which is highly strange for me, because I don't understand what the culture was surrounding cooking. I think it's possible that they cook outside before. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have full plumbing inside. You'll see fully functional bathrooms and toilets and things like that, but they just don't, some properties don't have a kitchen. So that's one of the things I request when they're showing me photos. I'll see a living room or a parlor, they call it a parlor, and I'll see bedroom, and I'll see bathroom, and then sometimes I don't see a picture of the kitchen, and I'll ask, can I see a picture of the kitchen? And then they'll say, oh, this doesn't have a kitchen. Okay, I can't deal with that. And then another thing as well, I'd ask, how far is it from the main road? Because I want to know that in about less than 5 minutes I'm on the main road. I also check for cash power to make sure that the property has its own and it's not sharing with someone else, so that electric bills are not confused and you're paying a whole lot of money. Yeah, just the essentials, what you need, how many bedrooms, and I also tell the agents what price I'm looking for, what my price range is, so that they won't listen to my accent or whatever and think that they can just charge me some ridiculous rate. There are a lot of properties available on a local rate, but most of them I'm finding right now are available in the coastal area. You really have to be really fast on your feet in this property market, because not only are repats searching for property, but also locals. Locals are looking to get property as well. So it's big competition out there basically. And yes, and another thing I request is, how much of a deposit will the landlord want? Does he want 6 months upfront payment? And I prefer 6 months payment at this time. And I've turned down really good places because they wanted 1 year. I don't want to be committed to anywhere for 1 year as yet, because I'm not sure how long it will be before I start a building project, or I'm just not sure about some of the things that will unfold in the next 6 months. So I didn't want to have a definite, be tied down for definite. But yeah, those are some of the things you need to ask upfront in your discussion. I like to have that dialogue in writing on WhatsApp personally, because I've been in situations where I go out with the agent and I'm walking for too long, and I say, how close is this to the main road? Because in your text message here on WhatsApp it says not far, but I feel we're walking quite far. So at that point, when I feel that they've kind of deceived me, I'll say, I do not want to view your property. Already I'm not comfortable with how far in I'm walking away from the main road, and I'll leave it at that, and I don't pay a movement fee in a situation like that, because I can show them in their text messages, you've clearly deceived me. There have been occasions where I've gone to a property and it's not been fully ready. There have been some disastrous things have happened. Some crazy things have happened. Someone has tried to show me a property that's already been rented out. I mean, oh gosh, it's crazy out there. It's crazy. So yeah, those are some of the things you need to look out for when dealing with the property market here in Gambia. Sometimes the property may have issues that the agent does not want you to recognize or see, and in some cases where the property needs more development, the agent might say to you, but if you give us your deposit and your rent, we can make those changes and developments with the money we've given you. And you'll come across them saying things like this to you, but I never take an apartment on a promise. My mother always said a promise is a comfort to a fool. So, you know, how am I going to turn my money over to you for you to give me a promise like you're going to use some of that money to develop the property more? No, it's either the property is ready for me or it's not ready. And if you can't get it ready for me, then I don't want it. So I wouldn't let them trick me into such a vague situation with, it's not fully ready, but we're going to take your money and get it right for you. You know, no, if the property is not the way I want it, I'm not taking it. And in regards to when you're ready to pay your deposit, I wouldn't give an agent his commission unless he has introduced me to the landlord, and probably the landlord is physically there. And I wouldn't give the landlord my money without having received the keys or something. In Gambia, you don't get contracts typically. So I would ask for a receipt, but you don't get contracts. So those are some of the things to consider when looking for property here in Gambia. Do give yourself enough time. You may need a month. You may need an entire month to look around and assess what's going on in the market around you. And I would advise repats, please do your homework when you get here. If you're serious about coming here, check out what the local rates really are and request it from the agents when you're looking for your accommodation. What's the point of coming here and paying prices based on based on where you're coming from? That's not how the market here works. So I'll encourage repats to do that. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comments field below. I hope you found this video informative. And please, if you've not subscribed, please do so and hit the bell for notifications. And yeah, that's it from me for now. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye now.